My name is Victor Emmanuel. I am the events coordinator for Christech Analytics and your moderator for today. And we will be deep diving into our topic and our theme for today, which is how data flows in your industry. And we are going to be learning from someone who has done the work, who has put in the years, the effort, the time to understand trends and to predict to predict trends based on data. He is none other than Mr. Ataminyo Efe, who is a young graduate of Petroleum and Gas Engineering, and he graduated with the first class honors as the top student of his department from the prestigious Nigerian Maritime University. He is deeply passionate about leveraging artificial intelligence and deep learning to advance solutions in the energy sector. As an emerging professional in the data analytics field, he combines technical expertise with innovative approaches to optimize energy systems and drive sustainable outcomes. Now, that is just like a tip of the iceberg of who this person is. To be honest, I don't even know how our founder gets this caliber of people to come and share their insight with us. Every webinar we host, I am always blown away by the caliber of people who take our time to be with us. And today, our teacher is no different. So, without much ado, I'm just going to go ahead and give the floor to Mr. Efe. Welcome. Please give him a round of applause. Let's use those emojis. Let's use those stickers.
Yeah, thank you very much, um, our moderator for today. First of all, I want to really show my appreciation for our founder, Mr. Christopher, for giving myself the opportunity to come and have this wonderful discussion with wonderful persons like you all here. I'm grateful. So, without wasting much time, I would share my screen so we can, forge ahead um, into the discussion proper. So, if I change my screen now, share my screen now, you just have to confirm by maybe sharing an emoji or just letting me know that yes, you can see my screen. All right. Okay, kindly. All right. Wow, wow. The hands are very many, many hands. Very wonderful. Thank you for that confirmation. So, all right, let's go straight to our discussion for today, um, which is coming. All right, I'm gonna move this here. Pardon me, I'll be moving this icon a lot throughout this lecture. So, okay, you please confirm one more time if you can see the slide. All right, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. For today, today's discussion under the Christech Analytics platform, we'll be discussing about data architecture and literacy. And our subtopic is how data flows in industry. Very, 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 very important to understand that. And I'm so sure most of us here that are present, we are from different fields in agriculture, in health, and uh, just name them. There are a lot of industry. So I'm very sure we can, relate with this discussion. And once it's time for us to ask us questions, please do not hesitate to ask questions. In fact, asking questions actually makes it more interactive and make the session more, productive. So I will really, really appreciate if we can, keep our questions in check. So what's the time to ask the question? You just throw it out. So now this discussion is going to be slashed into three pillars, which is we're going to discuss about the fundamentals, which entails definitions, of course. And this is primarily for those of us that are new to this space, that doesn't even know what data is. Of course, there are people that are still that don't really understand what data is, and some of us we understand data, but in a kind of not that you know, comprehensive way. So this will actually give us an overview of what the data definition means and data architecture and literacy. A moment, please. So let's go to then we'll talk about the data management in practice. Yes, we're going to discuss how data flow in the industry, and we're going to have a case study of some, you know, primary industry, and then finally we're going to have a practical project. This session is going to be is like it's power packed, and definitely we are living what we're living energized, we're living, enlightened, of course. Through the practical projects, you will get to know how you can actually, come up with something like in this section. We are going to build a structured data entry system for a fish farm management system. And after doing this thing live and direct, yeah, you should be able to create your own data form, deploy it, and share to your colleagues and friends and say, yes, I can create a project. Yes, look at this, I created it. And you guys can make use of it you can even create it for your mom in a business or something, because this thing is actually adaptive, like it is adaptive to any and sector or domain. All right. So now let's have the fundamentals. Fundamentals is what is data. So I took this definition from I went to Oxford Dictionary, and Oxford Dictionary was just giving me definitions that are ambiguous, and I really want to make it simple and clear for everyone to understand. Like, so I came up with this definition that says a data is a raw fact or information like numbers, words, measurements that can be collected, refined, and used in what? In decision making. That's simple. Whatever you're doing, you're going to you want to go to buy something at the supermarket. The numbers of oranges you want to buy, the numbers of Milo, the numbers of beverages you want to buy, those are datas. So data can be structured or unstructured. Now, what do you understand by the word structure? Structure is something that is well organized. All right. Okay. For instance, now in your class, I know some of us are still in the university or some of us are out, but when we're still in the university, we have the list of students in a particular department, in a particular faculty. That's the structured data. It's not scattered. No students in civil engineering department is in the list of petroleum engineering department. So that is structured. Therefore, structured data are the ones that are so disorganized. Like, for instance, maybe a comment section of a particular celebrity. You see some people coming up with the annoying terms and annoying words, all those things. Those are scattered data. You want to, like, if you want to, like, work with a particular work with those data, you first of all have to clean them, organize them, and make them workable. You understand? Then data can be differentiated from the word information, of course. Data is like the raw material, then information is the what? Is the finished product. Then data architecture and literacy. So I also say, okay, let me come up with a more simpler or definition for data architecture, which I came up with a framework that helps us define how data are collected, stored, organized, and used in the system. Because data is not architecture comprises of everything that has to do with collection of the data, storing them, organizing them, those frameworks, those okay, for the process engineer, for chemical engineers, they have what we call process flow diagram. It's a way of structuring their, the reaction, the processes that would take to get a particular product. So for us to migrate data to finished product, or otherwise called the information, you need to structure it. So part of all these things coming in together is called the architecture of data. Then the data literature is the ability to read and understand, and interpret and use data effectively to make informed decision, of course. Now we're still in the fundamentals. Then we need to understand the important ideas to know as a data professional, as a data engineer, data, all of them. You need to know, understand some critical ideas, which is first of all the data source. Data always have a source where you get the data from. You understand? How do you get, like, what source? Where do you get data from? You can get data from sensors, from surveys, from transactions, from diagnosis. This one spans through different industry diagnosis. Like maybe when there is a patient and the doctor diagnoses that patient and collect data of that particular patient, those ones are sources of data. Transactions, the money you send out, the money you receive, and the rest, those are data sources. Then for data storage system, we'll have the spreadsheet of which, when it's time for us to do a project, a practical project, you will have an overview and you'll be able to like see a spreadsheet live and direct. We have the database and the cloud. Then for processing, data processing, you also have to know how data is being cleaned, validated, and transformed into useful information. Now, I just want to get the confirmation that I'm being heard. If you know you can still hear me and you're following well. All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Christopher. So all these are important in understanding and making effective use of data, which is instrumental in identifying trends and patterns. Yes, for us to make good prediction, for us to come up with good results from our data, we need to understand how this data behaves, the trends, the pattern. You understand? So those are important. Yeah. Then also enable companies and organizations to make data-driven decisions. Every decision that is made in the whole wide world now is primarily based on data. Yes. So once you are able to understand these concepts, their sources, their storage system and processor system, you can be able to know leverage on that and make important data decision for your company. There are also help managers and professionals to turn raw data into actionable insight for strategic planning, forecasting, and problem solving, of course. Then let's move to the next slide, which we are now in the second pillar of this section, which is data management in practice. Now we need to understand how data flows generally in all industry. You understand the first primary number one building block of data, or should I call it the beginning? They're like in the Bible, in the beginning, in the beginning was the word. So the first beginning is data collection. Yes, you have to first of all collect data. Now, how do you collect data? Um, I give an example in this slide, which is a patient vitals in a clinic, crop yields on a farm, transaction record in the bank. Those ones are what data. And when you collect them, you understand that is the very first step in what in data management. Yeah. Then we also have the data entry. So when you collect the data, you don't just collect it and you relax. You have to enter the data in giving platforms that would that will facilitate whatever action you want to take after the collection of the data. So by typing patient information into Excel, we all are familiar with Excel, or logging farm harvest data, or filling out Google form. Like some of us, there are some opportunity that will just come out like on the internet. It's okay, apply for this. And most of recruitment agencies now, they don't say send me your CV on email any longer. They just like create a data entry form where you can just go there and put in your credentials, your name and the rest, and upload your CV. So those ones are data entry in terms of data management. Then the next step is storage and processing. Of course, it has to be stored, you understand, and processed for us to come up with results. So you have to sort it, validate the data, remove duplicates, you understand. Platforms like Excel or any database is actually very, very um, good for that. Then, of course, reporting. Yeah, after getting your results, you have to report. So this is primarily like the flow in industry. You understand? There are other sub-flows, subsections in these four aspects, but during the course, due to the cost of this section and the time limit, we won't go deep into those ones, but just have an idea of how data flow in all industry. Now, um, data common data management challenges. Of course, they are data management challenges, of course, and this includes inconsistent formats. Maybe there is a mistake in the name, in dates, in numbers, missing or duplicate records, manual errors, and the massive data collection. So these issues are being limited or curbed through data tools for data management, where we have the data collection tools, the Google and the Microsoft Form, like I said earlier. Then the tool for data entry tools, the Excel, I have said it before now, the data storage system, the cloud. We're all familiar with that, if I'm not mistaken. Then data cleaning and preparation tools. Then which includes the Excel, Python, Arrow, and programming. Of course, these are very essential in cleaning our data. What do you understand by the word cleaning data? To clean data, it means you are removing some unwanted, just like when you're weeding, you're removing some unwanted grass, things that are not relevant, things that might actually maybe compromise the entire result. So you have to clean and prepare. So these tools are very, very essential. Though there are other more sophisticated tools, advanced tools that are being, that we have and also have been created, but these ones primarily are just like the let me call it the most fundamental way, or most fundamental tools for each of these data management process. Then data analysis tools, we have the Excel formula. And if you look at this list I'm saying so far, you see some of these tools are repeating themselves over and over again. That means some tools can be used for like collection of data, some can be used to both entering and cleaning. So you also understand that. Then data visualization tools. You've come up with that, you've collected your data. Okay, for instance, your manager say, okay, Mr. A, I want you to work on this particular project. You've collected your data, you have stored the data, you've collected and you store, then you clean, you prepare it, and you have analyzed it, and you have come up with a result. You won't just carry the entire coding or the entire laptop and just work and be just go to your manager and say, sir, look at what I've been able. You have to what visualize it. You have to make it and simplified and clear, so that anyone, even if someone that doesn't even have a prior knowledge of what the whole concept is all about, through visualization, the person would be carried along. So Excel chart is actually essential for their dashboards, Power BI and Tabula, of course. All right, keep your question coming. If you have, once it's time for question and answer, we'll answer that. All right, for the last section of this, which is the main section for our discussion tonight, is the practical project. For this session, please, I want us to be like, keep our ears, what I would say, keep your ears down and your eyes wide open so that you will be able to grab this essential, should I call it skill? Yes, of course. So now we'll be building a structured data entry system for a fish farm management system. Yes, we're going to agriculture. Yes, as some of us like eating catfish, we like eating tilapia fish. We don't even know how these fish are being breeded. We don't know how they are grown. We just like eating them, barbecue and the rest. So through this practical project, you have an understanding of how farmers put in data and come up with results. All right. So, due to the course of this section, I'll be going back to my Chrome. um Sorry, I'll be going back to my Chrome. And so okay, now I told you deploying, and we'll be like preparing we'll create a data entry form where anyone can go and type, okay, name of this. You type your name, you type just like the way they do it in recruitment. Then you will see how it's you will see the compilations of all the fill out forms from different individuals in our Google spreadsheet. So we'll be using Google spreadsheet, and we'll be creating data entry form. I hope we are all understanding to this particular point. Thank you very much. Favor. Thank you. Thank you. God bless you. All right. Okay. Um, um, to come up with this, whatever I've discussed so far, we are going to use a generative AI. We all understand. I don't know if you understand the meaning of generative AI. Generative AI is, there is, okay. Thank you very much, Favor. We generate is an AI model that helps us generate, and things, maybe pictures, images, and the rest, text, and the rest. So we're going to use generative AI, and I think the ones I'm actually very familiar with is Gemini and ChatGPT. So, but in this our discussion, we're going to go with ChatGPT, and while working with ChatGPT, we need to have a prompt, which is what will tell ChatGPT to do for us. You understand? ChatGPT will help us do it, and from what ChatGPT does is what we use to create our Google Sheets and get our Google form, of course. So I've been able to type this thing before now. I don't know if you can you guys can see my uh, please, if you can see my screen, please let me know. So this is our form, and this form is just broken down into just four essential parts. It's just simple. You understand? We'll have a big picture of the goal, what we are looking for, and give it details about the form to ChatGPT. And of course, ChatGPT will understand how, like, what happens after submitting the form. Will help us, do that as well. And a specific instruction that we will need, you get me. So these are what we'll push out to ChatGPT, and GPT will give us the codes and the instructions to go in creating our Google form. Now, you see, I have already written it. I want to make a Google app script, web app that I can use to fill in a fish farm details and save them into my Google Sheet. This form should have now the form should have some key elements. You understand? Because the farmers need to like put in key elements. You understand, for it to reflect now Google Sheets. And let me just like recap so that you will understand what I'm trying to say, so everybody can be carried along. We are going to create a Google Sheet. Google Sheet is like Excel, you understand? Is like I explained it last, is a data entry, tool. Help us, I mean data storing tool, where we will store every single information concerning our fish farm. You understand? And like Excel, it has headings where we have pond tank identification. Of course, in a fish farm, you must have names for individual pond and individual tanks. You can call it tanks or you can call it ponds. You understand? So I can say, okay, this is pond A, this is pond B, this is tank A, this is tan B. So the next one, we are going to have a drop down list for stock information, and this stock information is going to be either nine tilapia or African catfish. So these are the two species of fish that we have in our fish farm. You understand? And if our Google form will have a drop down list. What it means by a drop down list is when you click on something and it will give you two options. Is it to type, is it like to type nine tilapia, or to type to put in African catfish? So of course, that will be done for us with ChatGPT. Then a boss to enter a quantity to know like where we put our numbers of fishes in that particular pond, 500, 1,000 fishes or so. Then we also have a drawdown for mortality rates. What do you understand by mortality? The rate of deaths of maybe fish that died because of disease, or fishes that died because of cannibalism. Fishes eat their own species. So mortality rate is also very important in managing fish farm. Then we are going to make a list. If the drop down list is going to be that high, low, or medium. Then we have a drop down list for harvest information. Is that particular pond, the fishes in the particular pond, are they close to harvest? You understand? Or we just stock them. So it's going to be either recent or near. So we're going to also have a box for remarks, of course, so that the farmer can know, okay, this particular pond has a problem. This particular pond is okay. So after these are the words you are part of the prompts, and these are the headings that will be in our Google Sheet. Then I also want the sheet to have a column for date and time, of course, at the beginning, so that we'll know when we imputed those data. Of course. Then when I submit the form, it should save the data to the sheet. Should we show me a message that it worked, and then clear the form, so that of course this one is also very important. You let ChatGPT know as well. So when you put in your information with the form, you put in your information with the form should be able to tell you that okay, submitted when you click submit, and it's supposed to clear so that any other person can come and impute data as well. Now, please make the form look nice using Bootstrap. It help us, give us the design of our form. Then, of course, you tell the ChatGPT to give you the code, give us the code for HTML, which is for the Google form, the Bootstrap for the design, and the app script for our spreadsheet. And also, clear steps to creating the Google Sheets, adding a code, publishing the web app so I can open it and fill out the form, how to share it with other. So this particular prompt, I don't know, founder will be able to maybe share it to us. So maybe when you want to create your own in your leisure time, or you want to focus on another industry, you can just go and edit some of the things and put in what you want. It's simple. You understand? Just depending on what you want, you put it in and edit it and paste it to ChatGPT. And what follows is what we are going to learn now. Thank you. So now I'm going to copy this. I'm going to copy this. Going to copy this and go back to our Chrome. Go back to our Chrome and our ChatGPT, of course. Then you paste and you allow it to load. So it's giving us answers, right? Copy this one. All right. So ChatGPT has given us all we needed, both the codes for HTML and the apps, of course, and all the instructions for us to follow. So it's simple. It's not daunting. It's simple. It's clear. You'll be able to get understanding of everything as we move forward. Yeah. So now the first step we have to do, we have to get our Google Sheets ready. I've already opened a Google Sheet in my browser. It's simple. Just type Google Sheet in your Google browser. Type Google Sheets, then click on the Google Sheets, sign in, and it will take you to this page. Then you click on blank spreadsheet, because a new blank sheet is what we need. All right, this is our spreadsheet. So I'm going to name our spreadsheet um, fish farm fish farm records. I think this is a perfect name for it. This is very sweet. I like it. So let's go back to our ChatGPT and see what it told us to do. So we need to get a column for this spreadsheet that will contain the date and time, the pond data and the rest. So we're going to copy. I don't know if this will allow us to copy it, or maybe I should type it. Let me copy it. Okay, yeah, it allows to copy it. Then you go back to our spreadsheet. I'll be moving this in a lot. I don't know if there's a way I can just hide this in somewhere and so that it won't be disturbing us. So you come and you paste it.
I think you can resize that screen. So just like take your cursor to the edge and see if you can resize it.
All right, thank you very much. Please, what's your name again, our moderator?
Victor, the name is
What's
Victor.
your Victor? All right, thank you very
Yes.
much, Mr. Victor. I really appreciate for that. Please, a hand of applause for Mr. Victor for giving us that insight. So we're all learning here. All right. So the first this one is date and time. This is it. We have gotten the headings for our spreadsheet. The next step is to go to extension and go to app scripts. All right, let's allow it to root because this is where we will not type our code. You understand? For all right, it's loading. It's loading. It's loading. Um, all right. Yes. So I think I want to name this. You have to name, of course, this. Let's name it to fish farm, fish farm analysis. Let me say the analysis. I have management already. Analysis. Let me keep it like that. Okay, now you have to now. This is where you paste this code. The first line of script that ChatGPT has already provided for you. All right, copy spreadsheet. Copy spreadsheet. Come in. Moment, please. Uh, from the all right. Okay. Now let's get our JavaScript pasted. This is different from. Um, we have to take away all of this. Get our JavaScript pasted. All right. Then we have to get our HTML for the form, of course. The HTML code for the form, of course. So we have to click this add file and click on HTML and we name it index. Please don't forget to name this index. Then it takes you here where you have to put the codes for HTML. Where that okay. So all right. Let's get our HTML code. Right? Okay. Go back to our app script and paste our HTML code there. Yes, now we'll have our HTML code pasted already. So what we'll do next is to save whatever we have done so far. Yeah, it's not saved for us. Then the next step is to deploy our code for HTML and All right, the JavaScript group. Yeah. So let's deploy new deployment. So let's go to setting type, web app. Yeah. Then let's give a description to our deployment. So you can give it whatever you want. So, but I'm going to give my DPO 11. Don't ask me why. This is what I want to give to my own. It's because these particular wordings are very, very essential to me. Now, execute as, of course, myself, my email, your email has to be there. Then for for who has access to the form, you have to make it accessible to everyone, of course. But if you want to make it more like secure, you can say, okay, everyone with a Google account, right? So let's deploy. I have to, yes, now I need to authorize um, an access to my Google account. So sorry, the my network just fluctuated and it locked me out. Locked me out. So let me go back to authorized access. So favor, it was not your network, it was mine. All right. So it's going to take a little while, of course. Now, so these aspects are actually the final part of creating the Google form. Don't worry, I'm going to like recap. I'm going to give a recap so that some of us that are lost on the way, we would be able to catch up. So let me stop here and just give a little recap regarding that. So now what we first of all had to do, we had to open our Google Sheet on our Chrome and have a new sheet, a new branch sheet for like the data entry, where the data will be stored, whatever we're storing. So we have to create an heading, the table headings. So we have to create the fish tank ID and the rest. Then we had to go back to ChatGPT where we have already sent that prompt and has given us instructions and the codes. Then we have to copy the code and go back to our Google spreadsheet and click on extension and then web app and so app script. That is then where we would start imputing our codes. Then afterwards, our codes are being imputed both for Code.js and the HTML. Then afterward, we deployed. And this deployed, you need to gain access. You need to allow to gain access to your Google account. So um, the access has been gained. So now we're able to create a form, which the link is what you're seeing right here. We're going to click on this link, which is the URL, the link to our Google form. Now let's try out the form. Yes, voila, like the way they say it, our form is finally ready. Now, I would I'll first of all give the as the creator. I'll first of all give the fill the form. Then we'll checkmate it with our spreadsheet to check if it's actually reflecting there. Then we're going to make the link available in our chat box. Then we can click and fill the form and see whatever we filled in our spreadsheet. So after filling this form, this has to maybe I don't know if my network. Let me say the pond is profitable. Profitable. Don't know if it's my network, but I'm clicking on the submit and it's not loading. Don't know. Whether it's my network.
Can you just try refresh that page, let the form refresh itself. Let's
I've
see.
tried it. I've tried it. Let me
All
fill in
right,
again.
let's fill it again.
See, the problem is still
Can we
persistent. I
can we
don't
go
know
back
why.
to the can we go back to the sheet itself, like the Google sheet itself? I think
This is it. It's not replicating
yeah. So
it.
the pond tank ID, there are actually no like identifiers. Like we are clicking A, but on the what's it called now? On the form itself, we don't have like. Aren't we supposed to have like A, B, C under the pond, like in the pond ID column?
Come again.
So I was thinking that okay, or could it be the name, on the sheet we have pond/tank ID, not tank identification. So maybe
Pond/tank ID. Hold on. Let me check. Let's see if that could be the issue.
no, I don't think that is. I think it's a script issue, like it's from the
Yeah, of
code.
course.
The code is
From
not
the
picking
code,
up.
right?
The
Should we,
code is
should,
not.
should, should we get the code again? Do you advise we get the code again?
No, like let's
Um,
look. Can we look into the code body itself? Let's just see. Is it possible to look into the code body? No, the one with
Okay,
this.
this,
Okay.
sorry,
yeah,
the
sorry, the second place. Okay, can you
all right.
go to the like redeploy the web app again to see if that fixes it? You
All
redeploy
right.
it.
I think it has to do with my laptop here. It's being frozen. Sorry, it's not something that has to do with the code or something. It's my laptop. It's frozen. It's my laptop. I don't know what could be the issue.
Okay, have you created something like this already, that like a link that works well with the deployed URL that we can work with for the meantime?
Yes, of course. We
Okay.
have done something like that. Hold on, please. Let me just go one more time.
Okay.
I think my laptop is one giving me the issue. It's seizing. It's just let me just call it. It's frozen somehow. So, but I hope this fixes it. So this is of course the form. So we just have to just the name of the pond. Let's call the name of the pond the type of fish, the type of stock. Let's call it African catfish. Then the quantity. Let's call it let's say 2,000 fishes. Then the mortality. Let's call it high. This one the fishes are dying a lot. Then let's say the harvest information is near adverse. Then there is just say in remark there is a loss. Then let's submit a form. the form is already submitted. So it will give us an avenue to refill another data. You see, the data are all like vanished. You understand? So let's go back to our sheet, and of course, number 10. You see the time, which is today. The time. The form is D, and because I clicked it twice, the submit twice, because I thought maybe it wasn't working. So it has to replicate double. So ladies and gentlemen, this is how you create a Google form, um, and the spreadsheet, of course. Then thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Wow, 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 wow. I am blown away. I think the last time I saw a magic trick like this was at my 1 year birthday party. Yeah, I am so blown away. Thank you so much, our speaker for today, Mr. Efe. You've been incredible, and I think we got an insight into even your problem-solving skills. And I don't know if I speak for myself, but I'm very impressed. And I hope that everyone here has picked up one or two things from this webinar. So please tell your friends, tell your colleagues, we are doing something amazing here at Christech, and we want them to be a part of it. They don't necessarily have to be data engineers already, but they need to learn about data. Everyone needs to learn about data and how they can harness it in their various fields. Thank you so much. I don't think, okay, there's what's called now. There's an appreciation message in the chat. Thank you for this session, informative and straightforward. Definitely trying it out. Also, please make the prompt available. So that is to the speaker. Thank you once again to everyone who showed up. Thank you to our founder for the amazing work that you and the team are doing here at Christech. So we'll just give the next few minutes to our founder to speak to us and give us our goodbye message.
Thank you, event coordinator. You've done well. And also, a very big thank you to our speaker, Ife. You've done very well. You've done very well. This training, or would I say this project, it reminds me of back then when I was still taking on tutorials and watching videos to know how things work. And some of my mentors that have done tutorials, they do walk us through the debugging aspect. If there's a problem, they don't just skip it and tell you don't worry, it would work. They actually take us through the problem and we work on it together, and that was something you did, and I'm very impressed about that. Well done, Ife, you've done well. And to our members, you are all welcome, and I appreciate you all for showing up in today's deep dive and theory session. And I believe you've all learned a lot. You've all learned a lot because what we built now in this project is going to really help you rather than using the default template that Google Forms offer to you to fill and to save records. You can create your customized one the way our speaker has done it here. You can create a nice design that you would love for yourself and put it out there to get data, to get information. So that's a really nice one. We're going to be having more of these sessions as time goes on. In our deep dive session, we're going to have projects we're going to build, and I don't want you to miss out because we are going to be building upon everything we are doing. Like the project we built today, we're going to build on top of it in our next deep dive and theory session. So you don't want to miss out. So that is my encouragement for our members. Our members, be active, participate in all what we are doing here, and you are going to learn a lot, and you are going to learn the latest trends in AI, in data science and in machine learning, because in Christech analytics, we look at what is trending, we look at how things work in the modernized way, and we put it into everything we have going on here. So it's not something you want to miss out on. Okay, in summary, I appreciate you all once again. It's so nice having you, and we look forward to seeing you in our next session. All right, so that'll be a good night here. Good night, everyone. Good night.